All right, let's talk about sleep, but not in the way you're used to. We're not going to just talk about getting more hours in bed. We're going to talk about how to get way more energy from less sleep. It is time to stop counting sheep and finally start making your sleep work for you. So let's kick things off with a problem that I bet sounds really familiar. I like to call it the 9-hour zombie problem. Seriously, has this ever happened to you? You do everything right. You clear your schedule, you hit the pillow early, you get a full 9 hours, but you wake up feeling completely groggy, you're confused, and you're just desperate for that first cup of coffee. You followed the rules, so what went wrong? Well, here is the secret. Long sleep is not the same thing as deep sleep. It's not about the sheer number of hours you spend in bed, it is all about the quality of the rest you're getting during that time. We have this metaphor in our heads that our body is like a phone battery. The longer you plug it in, the more power you get, right? But our biology is so much more complex than that. It's not about how long you charge, it's about how you charge. So, how do we actually fix this? Well, we've got to crack the sleep code. We need to look under the hood at the actual science behind your sleep, the fundamental architecture of your nightly rest. And it all starts right here with understanding the sleep cycle. See, your entire night is just a series of repeating 90-minute patterns. If you can get your head around this one concept, you will unlock better rest forever. And here's what's happening inside every single one of those cycles. You start off in light sleep. Then you drop down into deep sleep. That's the really good stuff. That's where your body does all its physical repairs and releases growth hormones. After that, you pop back up into REM sleep, which is for consolidating your memories and, of course, for dreaming. It's this beautiful, structured dance that happens all night long. So this brings us to the golden rule, the one thing you have to remember. Always aim to wake up at the end of a sleep cycle. When you get jolted awake in the middle of deep sleep, that's what gives you that horrible zombie feeling. Waking up gently between cycles, that's the secret to feeling refreshed and totally alert. Okay, so we've got the theory down. Now let's get practical. Let's build your smart sleep toolkit with some real actionable hacks you can literally use tonight to get that deeper, more efficient rest we've been talking about. First up, your environment. You need to think cave mode. That means your room has to be pitch black. I mean, absolutely no light. It should be quiet, or you can use some white noise to cover up distractions. And, this is a big one, it needs to be cool. And just how cool are we talking? Well, the science is pretty clear. The ideal temperature is right around 18 degrees Celsius. Just setting your thermostat to that sweet spot can make a massive difference in your sleep quality. It's such a small change, but the impact is huge. All right, next up, your rituals. You have to send a clear signal to your brain that it's time to power down. That means, please, avoid the blue light from your phone for at least an hour before bed. Create a little pre-sleep routine for yourself, like reading a book or doing some meditation. Some people even find supplements like magnesium glycinate really help their muscles relax into sleep. Okay, now that we have our toolkit ready, let's go on a little myth-busting adventure. Let's tackle some of the most common myths about sleep that are probably holding you back without you even realizing it. Let's start with the big one. We've all had this drilled into our heads our entire lives, right? You absolutely need 8 hours of sleep. But is that actually true for every single person? The truth is, nope. Everyone's needs are a little different. The focus should never be on hitting some arbitrary number like 8 hours. It should be on getting efficient, high-quality sleep that's built on those clean 90-minute cycles. For some people, that might be 7.5 hours. For others, it might be 6. And what about this one? There's this weird stigma in our culture that taking a nap is somehow a sign of laziness, like you're just wasting the day away. But the reality could not be more different. In fact, NASA, and they know a thing or two about peak performance, recommends 20 to 30-minute power naps to boost memory, focus, and energy for its astronauts. Hey, if it's good enough for an astronaut hurtling through space, it's probably good enough for us. Okay, let's bring this all home. Because this isn't just about a few tips and tricks. It's about adopting the entire mindset of a master sleeper. It's about learning to win your night so you can absolutely win your day. Here is a seriously powerful technique that U.S. fighter pilots use to fall asleep in under 2 minutes, even in stressful situations. It's a systematic relaxation process. You just relax every single muscle in your face and jaw, then you let your shoulders and arms go limp. You exhale and relax your chest, then your legs, and finally, you just clear your mind by picturing a calm, quiet scene. And you know why that technique is so effective? Because it gets to a fundamental truth about sleep. So often, it's our mind that's exhausted, not our body. It's that endless doom scrolling, the constant comparison on social media, the worries that spin around in our head at 2 a.m. That's what's truly destroying the quality of our rest. Ultimately, it really all comes down to this. When you stop seeing sleep as wasted time and you start treating it like high-octane fuel for your brain, everything changes. Better sleep leads to better choices. And better choices, well, that leads to a better life. To win the day, you have to win the night first.
The takeaway here is that you don't need more sleep, you need smarter sleep. So the only question left to ask is, starting tonight, are you ready to turn your sleep smart mode on